Alien Romulus follows a group of young space colonizers as they are scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station. While they are doing so, they come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. This film was directed by Fede Alvarez and it stars Kaylee Spaney in the leading role, and it is a sequel to Ridley Scott's original Alien, but a prequel to James Cameron's Aliens. It takes place in the year 2142, 20 years after Alien and about 30 before Aliens. So this film sent me through a bit of a roller coaster of emotions with how I felt about the film, because it started off the first act really rough. I was really not enjoying it at all, and I was thinking, oh god, this is just going to be a disaster, isn't it? But then it picks up. And it picks up really well. There's a lot of great stuff happening. It's a bit of a rehash of the best of Alien and Aliens, but I was thinking, look, it's okay, it's doing well. Then the last 20 minutes came along and blew me away to the point that I was like, holy shit, why was the rest of the film not as good as this? So I ended up walking out of Alien Romulus, enjoying it, but not without a few issues along the way, so let's discuss it. So the main thing to celebrate about Alien Romulus is the practical effects. There is no substitute. The original two films work so well because you feel like these characters are interacting with something that is there. They're interacting with an actual legitimate threat. None of the films past Aliens had that feeling, except for Alien Romulus. And that's just because as I said, it's the same thing. You feel like they are interacting with something that is actually right there and in front of them. And as I said earlier, I love the fact that it feels kind of like a mixture of Alien and Aliens. It's got the brilliant horror and the real just edgy of seat thrills and just scares that Alien delivers. And it's got the bombastic, crazy, awesome action that Aliens delivers. So it's the best of both worlds in those kind of ways, and the way the practical effects combine with those two genres of horror and action, it makes it all the more effective. It makes it a really engrossing watch. It makes it really entertaining. It would not be the same without the practical effects. And some of the sequences in here are awesome. Legitimately stand up against some of the great sequences in Alien and Aliens. I'm not saying that this film was even anywhere near as good as those two films, but there are moments when it rises and it gets pretty damn close to it. Kaylee Spaney does a fantastic job here. I'm a big fan of hers. I'm glad to see her doing so well. She's had Priscilla earlier this year, then she had Civil War, and now this. This is probably where she gets to shine the most, as much as I loved her in both Priscilla and Civil War, especially Priscilla. Priscilla, she was kind of, the point of the film was that she was not the one in the spotlight, Elvis was. She gets to take the spotlight here. She's got guns, she's all dirty and muddy, and she's ready to kick ass, and she's fantastic. And finally, the last 20 minutes of this thing were breathtaking. I actually almost got angry watching the last 20 minutes of this film because I was like, this is so good. Why wasn't the rest of the film as good as this? Because it was just, it's where it crammed all of its new ideas into the last 20 minutes. And, well, not all of its new ideas, but I guess thematically, the thematic ideas, the kind of expansion on the original films is where it really comes into swing. There are definitely things about the first two acts that are different from Alien and Aliens. It's not a complete rehash, but the majority of the punch of this film and the Fede Alvarez stamp comes in the last 20 minutes. And it was amazing. I mean, the practical effects, again, the sequences, just the how nail-biting they were, the edge of your seat thrills. It was just cinema. It was just what you go to the movies for. It was incredible. And it was so good to the point that even though I'm mixed on this film, the amount that I enjoyed the last 20 minutes, and now that I know what Fede Alvarez was trying to do with the film, it makes me want to go back and watch it to see if I'll appreciate it more, because it was just so brilliant. And, you know, a film like this where it's like you want to go back and rewatch it, that can never be a bad thing. But I still had some significant problems with this film. The main one being the characters. They were just meat, basically. They were there to get killed. They had maybe one trait each, and that's it. They were insufferable. And the movie takes its time to get going. So when you're just having to deal with these miserable sacks of shit for probably close to 40 minutes before the first real thing happens. Maybe it's not quite that long, it just felt like that long because it was just so boring I know it's not fair comparing the cast to the cast of Alien and Aliens, but those casts were just so much better, and it's a shame that Kaylee Spaney was the only one that stood out here to me. And there is one character in particular, I mean, they're all annoying, but one in particular, the droid character, was the most infuriating fucking character I think I've had to be around all year. I was clenching my fucking fists at him. There's also some serious problems with the dialogue and the way it's said that doesn't make the characters any more likable, because it's always the films with the loudest music, the most soaring, loud, spectacle-feeling music that you can imagine that is used in the movies where the characters speak like they're half a centimetre away from each other. I mean, it is seriously just like,
I'm not going to lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies.
It's so annoying, and that's another reason I want to rewatch it, is because so I can have fucking subtitles, so I can hear what they're saying. Also, I love Fede Alvarez. The film didn't look great, I gotta be honest. There are some parts where it looks spectacular, but a lot of it is very dark and very shadowy, and just kind of... I was going to compare it to Aliens vs. Predator Requiem because of the poor lighting, but then I realised that is going way too far. Point is, the film is very dark and it's hard to tell what's going on, so sometimes it's hard to tell what's going on, it's hard to hear what's going on. There are some really bad callbacks here, like, I'm talking dreadful. The cringeworthy callbacks. Whether it be shots or lines of dialogue, it was just like ear grating, and it sucked. I don't know who wants those kind of callbacks. My theatre was pretty full, and everyone was completely quiet when it made those references. And lastly, before I stop shitting on this film, I would like to say that there is a character in this film that is a returning character from one of the films, and that returning character is played by an actor who is now dead, so it's like a deep fake. It looks like a video game. It looks like an N64 face. It's really, really weird. I don't like it at all. With that being said, I did like this film overall. It has some serious drawbacks to it, but they're almost equally measured out by some really, really brilliant ideas and some great practical effects and a great central performance. I just wish that the film had have fixed up on some of those easier things that it should have been able to fix up on, because it did so much right, even down to the space station feeling like it's from that time period within the original film. Like, you look at Prometheus and Alien Covenant, everything is so advanced, and even though it's supposed to take place before the original 1979 film, this film gets that kind of detail right. It's just... Alien Romulus is worth a watch. So that is my review of Alien Romulus. Look forward to... This week I'll have a few reviews, actually, because I'll be doing a review of the original Crow, a review of the remake probably next weekend, and sometime this week I'll also do a ranking of all 9 Alien films, including Alien Romulus. So look forward to that. I'll see you all later. Bye.